is on the Women and Youth Loan Scheme. That is one of the schemes at the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Today we're joined by Mr. Philemon Nangonya again. He's the Public Relations Practitioner at the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Mr. Nangonya, thank you so much for joining us on today's live session again. I think you're becoming a regular.
Yeah, yes. It's only me that you guys are fine. It's okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So today's live session is on the Women and Youth Loan Scheme, which is one of the schemes at the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Let's dive right into it. What is the purpose of this loan scheme?
Right. Thank you very much for the question. The Women and Youth Loan Scheme. It's a scheme that was established by the bank, mainly with the purpose of addressing the participation of women and the youth in the agriculture sector. Over the years, as a bank, we have seen that it has only been mostly men that are dominating the industry, and then we have also looked at our own requirements to say maybe they are in a way prohibiting, and hence we introduced now the Women and Youth Loan Scheme, mainly with the purpose of relaxing some of the terms and conditions, so that they are favoring those groups, being now the women and the youth.
All right. So what differentiates this loan scheme from other schemes that the bank has?
Yes, the key factor is that this scheme comes with relaxed terms and conditions. You'll find that there are some unsecured options in terms of the financing that will be provided. Also, as I indicated earlier on, it's different from the other schemes because with this one, it has a specific group that we are targeting.
Okay.
So the first one that you'll find that we have the cash flow lending facility, whereby applicants are funded based on the off-take agreement that they may have with either one of their buyers or multiple buyers of their produce. So that off-take agreement, which is now serving as the Conatra, it's sort of one of the distinct features that comes with the Women and Youth Loan Scheme. So that's what makes it different from the others.
Okay, so the off-take agreement,
yes,
which is now brought to the bank by the applicant, right, will serve as collateral. If they don't have a house, they can use that as collateral.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So if you under this loan scheme, you are not required to bring or to provide that traditional, conventional collateral that you may request. Because on a normal practice, we'll ask you if you have a collateral such as a house, or you have maybe an undeveloped elephant somewhere, or you have a policy that has a maturity value. But with this one, we are then saying if you are to secure a market, that agreement for you, between you and the market, that agreement, it can also suffice as one of the collateral. And hence we are saying, please, if you can get that, then we are also accept it as collateral.
Wonderful. All right.
I think the other is also to say we have the option of salary backed, whereby if you are employed under this loan scheme, we can then make use of your salary to be part of the collateral. But under this also, if you are purchasing a farmland, there is also that option, which is called the 100% loan to value collateral.
Yes.
Meaning, if you are purchasing a farmland that is equivalent to a certain amount, that particular land or farmland that you are buying can also then become collateral on its own. And that's what makes it different from the others. Because with the rest, you'll be asked to provide collateral equivalent to the amount of money that you are getting from the bank.
100%.
Yeah. And in case you have a shortfall, if you are buying a farmland, then you can also complement that with either the offtake agreement or your salary deduction. So that is also.
So those are the options.
Yeah, those are the options.
No traditional form of collateral is required here, such as your house, such as your fixed deposits, your policies, and so forth. So if you have if you enter into a tripartite agreement, that you can use as now, collateral.
Yes, that's basically it. Yeah, you mentioned of a tripartite agreement. I didn't mention it at first.
Yeah,
deliberately so, because when you are applying, we don't call it a tripartite agreement because Agribank is not in the picture yet.
Yes.
It only becomes a tripartite agreement once then your loan is approved, because then we will have to sign that agreement, the three of us now. Yourself as an applicant or a client now, and also your buyer plus Agribank. Hence, we are calling it now tripartite. But at the time of applying, it's mainly just between you and the market.
Okay, wonderful. Yes. Now, who is eligible for this loan scheme, and how can they apply?
As I indicated earlier on, we are speaking of youth. By youth, we are using now the national definition. That is now anyone between the age of 18 and 35. But here is the catch. You find that in terms of the credit agreement, you will not enter into such an agreement if you are below the age of 21. So we are always then saying it's between 18 and 35, but at least be 21 years and above, so that you are able to enter into some of these agreements. So any youth that is now either man or woman who is between the age of 18 and 35, you are eligible to apply or you qualify for this particular loan scheme. And when it comes to women, we are speaking of women of all age categories. We are not limiting them to say you are limited up until the age of 35. So you can go even beyond 70 or 90 if that is
90.
the case. Yes. Yeah, there are those that are blessed. Yes. So there is no such limitation. So another third group, it's the agri-professionals. Here we are referring now to whoever that has qualification in the field of agriculture. Those are the ones that are also then not limited in terms of the age, because what we are saying is with them, they do have an understanding of how the agriculture sector is operating, that particular venture that they are joining. They will be able to run their affairs properly, thus limiting or reducing any risk that may come. So those are the three age groups, target groups. I should also indicate here that men above the age of 35 are also not excluded. We have seen, or we have received questions from various people asking to say, okay, now that I'm above the age of 35, am I not included into this? So you are, but if only you are registering or you are applying as a partnership or as a CC company, of which the majority should be women. Yes, you can as an older man, you can partner with women, but then you can have maybe 20% and then they can have 80% in that particular CC, for instance.
Okay.
So those are some of the options that are available, because we don't want to leave anyone behind, as the president always says.
Wonderful. Now, what are the requirements for this loan scheme?
Well, the requirements, as I said earlier on, they vary. Yeah, they vary. If you are a youth, you are a woman, you have all those age groups.
Yes.
But then, in terms of normal requirements, we'll of course ask you to bring your quotations.
Yes.
Where are you buying from? If it's livestock, for instance, we'll want you to bring us, your stock brand number and all those details of how many livestock do you have currently, or if you are purchasing a farmland, how many livestock do you have? Because you don't just finance a farmland without a plan of what you are going to do with it.
100%.
Yeah, we also encourage the development of a business plan because that supports your business case.
Yes.
At some point, we indicate that even if you don't have a business plan, you can always come through. Then there is a specific form that you complete here at the bank that somehow has the same details as that of the business plan.
Okay.
So in a way, you are catered for.
Okay.
Yeah. The other requirements, really, as I said, they differ from facility to facility. So if you are working, we will then need you to bring your payslip also. Yes, but also your banking statement is also another requirement. But even if you don't have a bank, we will just encourage that open one, then you give us at least either a bank account confirmation letter or something, just to indicate that at least you do have a bank account. Because part of your business plan, of course, you will indicate that you need some capital for operational purposes.
100%.
And then that's now why we also require you to have a bank account, because I mean, you are dealing with a bank, and it's only fair that you have a bank account where you are keeping your money. And mind you, it's not a bank account is not with Agribank, it's with commercial.
100%.
Yes, so
Just to make it clear.
Yes, because people may then flock to Agribank to say, we are now opening bank accounts here. No, we are not opening bank accounts. You can still do it with your commercial bank. That's why we are then asking, bring us the bank confirmation.
Wonderful. Now, earlier on you mentioned CCs, right? Whereby 20%, let's say, should belong to a gentleman and 80% should belong to the women part of that CC. What documentations should they bring if they had to apply? Because normally, traditionally, for other schemes and loan products, it's the audited financials, it's the company registrations, and so forth. So for this particular loan scheme, what are some of the required documents that they need to bring along, or that they need to have?
Yes, I think it should be noted that even under this scheme, the other terms and conditions, still applies.
Okay.
Yes, still applies. So if it's a company, you bring us your funding statement, but we'll also need your even if you don't have any operations, of course your accountant should be able to give you that letter to say, no, this business was not in any operation, hence no auditing or no accounting details are available at the moment.
Okay.
So that should still be provided, just so that we know we are dealing with an institution that is well documented and ready to operate.
Wonderful. All right, so moving along to our next question. Is there any limit in terms of the amount that an individual or a company can borrow under this loan scheme? Is there a limit?
No, there is no limit.
So one can walk in and just ask for 20 million.
Even 100 million, if your business case can afford. Yes.
Yesterday you mentioned if the bank has a risk appetite.
Yeah, no, even 100 million, because what happens is we look at your affordability and also on the credit risk appetite of the bank. Because we don't want to expose the bank to, risks that are unmanageable. So that's why we always look at how far can we go in taking this particular risk or application. But also we will look at the affordability of your profile or business case and things like that.
Yeah. All right. Now on to our last question. Just explain the special differentiated treatment for the professionals in the agriculture and related fields. What treatment do they get?
What we are saying here is for agri professionals, even if you are a man above the age of 35, we will still not penalize you as with any other youth. Here, we will still consider you because you are an agri professional who has got the know-how on how to operate in the sector, and also particularly on your agribusiness enterprise. So we will then, have that distinction from any other youth. So you can be about the age of 35, we will still accommodate you.
Okay.
Yes. So the other thing also is that we want you to be full time, but even if you are part time, you are also eligible to apply, because we want you to be at least at your specific business or farmland or so as much as you can, so that you are able to do the operations there. Then another thing is you will also, we don't just look at maybe degrees or honors or something. Even if it's a diploma, yes, that can also be accepted.
Okay, a diploma from accredited or an unaccredited institution. Which one would you?
Well, we would want to work with accredited institutions, because the reason that the institution is not accredited, we are also then will be doubting about the knowledge that we have acquired there. So we want to work with accredited institutions as far as I'm concerned.
All right. I recall earlier on somebody on Twitter mentioned that this loan scheme is not different from any agri loan product. The way I understood it is that this person doesn't know that maybe you can apply for the products through the scheme. But you can just differentiate between the scheme and the product at the bank.
No, thank you very much for that question. You see, what happens is, as I indicated earlier, we have a whole list of products that we offer. And these products, if you want to access them, we will subject you to normal requirements of the bank. Where we will ask you, give us collateral equivalent to the amount that you are asking. But then we have realized that you find that there are people in different categories, such as the youth. One youth might have just started working now. They don't have a house to offer as collateral. Even if they have a house, then on that house there is no scope, for instance, 100%. That you can then use that living to then register a second bond on that particular property. So in that case, this youth, if you are to ask him or her to access products directly, then he or she will be limited by these requirements. 100%. So hence now there is this scheme through which you are able to access these products. And this scheme comes with relaxed terms and conditions. Among them, I'm saying, if you don't have now a house, if you have a house but then it doesn't have a scope, then, or even if you are not employed, if you are in some of those categories, we will then ask you, give us one, if you want to go through the no correct the offtake, the contract financing process, give us an agreement where you are giving us that you have secured the market. That's one. The second one, if you are unemployed, is a same. If you are employed, but you have a house and then it doesn't have scope, then you can also use your salary. You know? Yeah. So it's some of those terms and conditions that were introduced to help, especially now these three categories that are indicated, to access the loan products. Okay. Yes, I hope I'm clear.
No, you are 100%. No, Mr. Nangonia, I believe we've come to the end of today's live session. Or are there any questions, Patrick, for us?
Not much as questions, but there was a point that was raised where one viewer has stated that it is very difficult to get this offtake agreement, and that is a concern from their end, and that was seconded by another viewer as well. So in that regard, is there anything Agribank can do to sort of assist people who are willing and who want to benefit through this particular scheme to maybe acquire this agreement? Is there anything that comes from Agribank or what we offer as Agribank?
Yes, I think it's important to mention that as part of our stakeholder engagement processes, we try to engage various market players within the agriculture space, just to make them aware of this particular requirement by Agribank, and also to sort of ask them in a way to assist the youth whenever they approach, whenever they knock at their doors. We have tried to engage various institutions such as AMTA, just to make sure that at least they do help with providing some of those letters or agreements. And also MITCO is another institution that we have engaged, plus many other.
Yeah, I know Agra also. Agra does give, what do you call it?
Is it the letters of intent?
Letters of intent.
Yes, because even the letter of intent can also be considered. Yes. You know, I think I should just mention that what the bank will do, will try to at least conduct some due diligence, just to make sure that we are indeed dealing with an off-taker that is able to buy and that is really existing in the business. Because you don't want to finance a project, then at the later stage you are sitting with produce that are maybe going to waste, especially those that are in horticulture. Exactly. So we'll continue to engage various stakeholders, potential off-takers, just to ensure that at least they do assist the youth and women whenever they knock at their doors.
Right. I think we've come to the end of today's live session. Catch us tomorrow again, same time, same place. Until then, it's bye.
Thank you.